Hey dolls, welcome to Shut Up and Listen. JK, the Pretty in the City podcast, which you guys, I bought this gorgeous mic for my podcasting and it doesn't hook up to my camera. It's supposed to hook up to my laptop and I haven't had the patience to let my husband set it up properly. So here she is in all of her glory as a prop. Okay, today I wanted to go through some of my very favorite books. It's almost fall, and so some of these are really good books to read in the fall. Not that there's a special time that you have to read a certain book, but I think there is. If I had to suggest some great fall reads and just in general some of my favorite books to begin with, yeah, let's get started on my favorite books that I have read, because some of these I literally just bought today and haven't read yet. Okay, we're going to start with my Bible. This is Lessons from Madame Chic, 20 Stylish Secrets I Learned While Living in Paris. It's by Jennifer L. Scott. I highly suggest you follow her on Instagram and YouTube at The Daily Connoisseur. Bring home the chic Parisian world of style and charm. This, seriously, it's just very French women don't get fat vibes, how to dress your best, how to have a capsule wardrobe. Not that I know anything about a capsule wardrobe, but let's see. Liberate yourself with the 10-item wardrobe. Love the idea. Snacking is so not chic. Deprive yourself not. Exercise is a part of life, not a chore. Find your true style. Perfect le no makeup look. Take care of your skin. Look presentable always. Practice the art of femininity. Always use the best things you have. Live life as a formal affair. Couldn't agree with that statement more. Clutter is so not chic. Also so true. Seek out the arts. Cultivate an air of mystery. I'm not mysterious. Nope. Not one single bone of me is mysterious. I wish I was, but you will know every single thing about me ever. If we've met in real life, you've probably already seen my boobs at some point. No air of mystery here. Practice the art of entertaining. I was born with the art of entertainment. Reject the new materialism. I don't know about that. Cultivate your mind. Find simple pleasures. I do like that. Find simple pleasures, magical, mundane moments, just in the everyday. Value quality above all. Live a passionate life. There are other books written by this fabulous author, and I've read all of them, and I own most of them, if I'm being completely honest. But seriously, this is one of my favorite books, and I read it when I was in high school, and it still has so much value in my life still. Okay, here's another lifestyle one that I also read in high school, and then I just got it again this summer, and I took it to the beach and read it at the beach, and it's got so wet and sunscreen and beach and stuff. Anyways, it's Skinny Bitch by Rory Friedman and Kim Bornen. I hope I said that right. This is a really good book. It's a no-nonsense, tough love guide for savvy girls who want to stop eating crap and start looking fabulous. This is great for men too. I don't know if this one is the one that has recipes in it. It might have a few. It has good brands to look out for whenever they're vegan. It's the Skinny Bitch. They're vegan. They're very passionate about anti-animal cruelty and just what that would do to your body, eating meat and stuff, which when I was in high school I actually went vegetarian because of this book, and it does remind me how shitty processed food and meat is, because their logic behind it, and I would have to agree on a spiritual level, that if you consume meat where this meat has been in this claustrophobic, cluttered, small space with a bunch of other animals. It's so fearful. It's stressed out. Who knows how the way it died. And like, you're just consuming that. And so that makes it put into perspective, like maybe it's not the best thing for me. Because if you're just eating, like, they're really brutal in this book, and I really love them for it, but it's like basically like you're just eating a dead carcass, like a dying carcass. And that's like not chic. But I'm not vegan right now currently. But maybe I will be. Anyways, and they have a lot of really great sources in here. Even if you're not 100% vegan and you just want to be more plant-based, like, I highly suggest this. It just gives you a really good perspective on things. Excuse me. Okay, this one's gonna be really funny. This is kind of lifestyle, sure. Why men marry bitches. It just looked so cute. I bought it off of either Discover Books or Thrift Books, because it's been pinned on my Pinterest for like ever, and it's just such a cool cover, and I was like, let's give it a read, see what happens. I think I got it right around the time I was engaged, which has no meaning whatsoever to the fact that I bought this book, but I thought it would be a interesting read. A Woman's Guide to Winning Her Man's Heart. And I'm gonna be honest, most of this, it's like a dating book. Throwing out the rule book. Why a strong woman wins his heart. I don't know, maybe I could do a whole podcast episode on my opinions over this and my disagreements. But I don't know, it was very interesting. Who cares if you agree with it or not? Like, it was a fascinating read. So there you go. Maybe we should do a little, maybe I should have us talk about this together. Anyways, it's fun and a new perspective. Why not? Okay, since we are getting into fall vibes. Carter! Yeah? You're being really loud.
Sorry.
Probably gonna be in all the audio. Sorry, my husband is playing video games in the room behind me. Okay, since it is fall, one of my favorite books that I actually read in the summer, like, where are my creepy hot girls at? Anyways, Miss Peregrine's House for Peculiar Children is so creepy and fun and mysterious. It's one of my favorite books. It's actually a really fabulous movie as well, but read the book first. They're all very similar. You could watch them in either order, but like, do yourself a favor and just read the book first. This one is nice and creepy. It's a timepiece. Goes to a different time, if that makes sense. It's a timepiece. I'm historic, I'm cultured, I know what I'm talking about. And it has like creepy little pictures throughout it. Excuse me, I burped again. I just had kombucha, it's the bubbles that get me. That's like the only carbonated thing I drink. I guess I do have some Spindrift cocktails, mocktails here and there. But this is a really great book to read, like if you want to like curl up at night next to a candle and like a salt rock lamp, like in a nice, dark enough that like you feel cozy but not dark enough that you can't read, with like a blanket, maybe like a pumpkin spice cookie, some tea, maybe it's morning, you've got a pumpkin spice latte, maybe caffeine doesn't affect you so you're having a pumpkin spice latte at night, like, couldn't be me. Anyways, this is a fabulous book to curl up and read, but it's not scary by any means, in my opinion. I'm a big baby. I'm a big baby when it comes to scary and horror. Okay, Poison for Breakfast by Lemony Snicket. This is a teeny tiny book, and it's such a fast read. I think I read it in like 2 days, and that was me like reading it in passing. I don't think I've ever read anything else by Lemony Snicket, but he's very poetic, and he reminds me of the way that my mother-in-law speaks. But it was just fascinating. It was a fun little read. Should I like give you guys a review? Poison for breakfast. He basically, I'm gonna do this without like spoilers, but he basically eats breakfast and then reads a note that says poison for breakfast. And he thinks that he has had poison for breakfast and he doesn't know how long he has left to live. So he goes, he like retraces his steps to figure out like where the poison came from, who tried to poison him and whatnot, until he eventually solves his own mystery. That was a good one. Let's go back. Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children is this boy and his grandpa. His grandpa's kind of told him these wild stories about these wild children. And then his grandfather dies in a mysterious way or disappears in a mysterious way. It's been a really long time. Anyways, in order to get some like closure and like stuff, him and his dad go traveling, and he ends up finding this like time loop where Miss Peregrine's for the Peculiar Children is, and it's kind of like this place that keeps them safe. It's a time loop from like, let's see, they're in like the 19 or the 1800s, and they he like gets to meet all of his grandpa's old friends and everything, because his grandpa was a peculiar child. And then there are these like creepy demon things that like try to find them all the time, but they all have their own like, it's not a power, it's a peculiarity, and that's what makes them all individual, and they all work together to work against the bad guys. Spine-tingling fantasy. It's fantastic. Okay, Getting Revenge on Lauren Wood. This one, I'm a sucker for anything with a Barbie on the cover. I'm very much judge a book by its cover kind of gal. Obviously, like if I've read a review or something of a book, I will absolutely like give it a shot. But like when I'm at the bookstore, I'm judging a book by its cover. Getting Revenge on Lauren Wood gives me very much Pretty Little Liars vibes. I'll touch on Pretty Little Liars in a second. And I did think that it would be a little bit more like Pretty Little Liars, but it's not as adult. It is kind of more of like a teen read, but I still really liked it. It's about this time the mean girl is going down. This girl had lived with this one girl, and it was like her frenemy whenever they were young, and she would always get her into trouble, or like the nice girl would take the blame for Lauren Wood. And anyways, she ended up moving back to this town, I guess to live with her grandmother, and decided to reinvent herself and be like the hot cool girl, and not let like Lauren Wood, not like she was gonna get revenge on Lauren Wood and like try to ruin her life and everything. And so she does all this stuff, and like with her like she like used her middle name and her mom's like maiden name so that like even her name wouldn't be recognized, and does all this crazy stuff in high school. But it's a really easy, good read. I read it at the beach. Classic. See, that's what, but like it's like, I don't know, it can be a fall read too, even though I read it at the beach. Okay, Coraline is like one of my favorite movies. I'm again, creepy hot girl, that like this is like my favorite movie ever. I love the Tim Burton movies and the Henry Selick movies, and Coraline is just like Coco's name like is actually Coraline Jones, and Lily is Lily Bobinski. So if you've read these if you've read the book or seen the movie, you would know that Bobinski is another character's name. Anyways, Coraline, the movie is definitely far more fantastic than the book. They follow a very like almost exact storyline, but the images and just the claymation, that whole thing is just like so magical, which is I think part of the reason I like it so much. But it's about this little girl. She moves to the Pink Palace with her parents and doesn't she's like bored. Her parents are working on their work and like ignoring her, and she's just sad. Her mom won't let her buy all these new clothes and this and that. And this neighbor boy finds a doll that looks exactly like her, and he gives it to her. And then at night, there's like this little doorway that's bricked up in the house in one of the rooms. It's like an old house that has like 4 different, it's like a duplex, but like a quadruplex. And she finds this little door, and she's like, oh, it probably connects to like one of the other apartments. Well, during the day when she's awake, it's bricked up, but at night she found this key with a button on it that unlocks the door, and at night it's got a tunnel through it. And so she goes through this tunnel, obviously being a curious little Coraline. She ends up in this other world with her other mother and her other father and like an other everything, and they all actually have buttons for eyes. And everything is so much more fantastic. Her parents pay attention to her. Her dinner is like whatever she wants to eat. There's smoothies in the chandelier. The neighbors are all so much more amazing. Like the 2 sisters downstairs, they're really old, but when they were younger, they used to be like circus performers. And so they get to have, on the other side, they have like the circus performers. They have Bobinski with his mouse circus, and like this incredible garden that looks like Coraline's face, and like all these different enchanting things for her. And but it turns out that like the other mother is evil, and she wants to sew buttons into Coraline's eyes, and she doesn't want that. So she tries to go back home, but like the parents get stolen and like by the other mother, and she has to battle the other mother who's like actually a spider. And yeah, so in the book, actually, the author writes this book for his daughter, or this is part of the book, but it's, I don't know, maybe I'm getting certain details confused, but it's basically, whether it's a real father or the character father, they like are going to have a picnic, and there are bees everywhere, and in order to save the daughter, like he doesn't think, he just like grabs the stuff and they go. But then whenever she was like, oh, I left this or that, or like he left glasses or something at the place that they were at, he was like, I'm scared. But she was like, you weren't scared the other day. And he was like, well, I was scared, but I did it anyways because I had to protect you. And so then she's a brave girl because she has to do these scary things in order to like survive, basically, in the other world and get back. So I don't know, that was a cute message, but this is super creepy. A lot of people think the movie's really creepy, but like I literally love it. I love Corpse Bride, I love Nightmare Before Christmas, I love Frankenweenie. All of those movies, it's like those. Okay, let's talk about Pretty Little Liars. I actually don't have the first book in a hard copy. I have a lot of books on my Audible, but again, I started reading this in high school whenever the show came out, and it is easily one of my favorite book series ever. It's like a girly psychological thriller. Like if you love a mysterious psychological thriller mixed with like girly details, like what outfits they're wearing down to the brand, like what their hair color is, like all the details ever mixed with the craziest twisting tales of the book. I'm not going to sit here and give you a summary because it's like a literal whole series, but yeah, if you've seen the TV show, I mean, the TV show is so fantastic and the books are so fantastic, but they are completely different. So if you love one or the other, definitely give the other a shot because they're equally great stories but completely different. So it's like a real treat to get to experience them both. Let's see. Okay. And again, a lot of these books I've picked throughout my life are all the books that Elle Fowler has recommended. The Treachery of Beautiful Things is it's also one of my favorite books. Guys, these are just all my favorite books. Beware the woods, those who don't come back. Oh, those who enter don't come back. This is very like fantasy, fairy, creature, lovely. Anyways, I'll read you the summary because I might not explain it as well. The tree swallowed her brother whole, and Jenny was there to see it. Years later, when she returns to the woods to finally say goodbye, she finds herself lured into a world of strange and dangerous creatures. Among them is Jack, magnetic, temperamental, and not to be trusted. But Jenny's determined to find her brother, with or without Jack's help. As she struggles to navigate a fairy world where nothing is as it seems and no one is who they say, she's faced with a choice between salvation and sacrifice. In this modern fairy tale, love can be used as a weapon and stunning beauty masks the most treacherous evils. It's a fantastic read. Okay, now on the books that I just bought today. Actually, that's a lie. I didn't just buy this one today, but I bought it at the same bookstore and I need to read it, and it's very fall. This was from the kids section, and I decided that who the fuck cares, and I'm gonna get it and read it anyways. Plus, I'll have a kid one day. Like, we're gonna be trying to get pregnant this fall, so I'll read it to him or her. It's Amelia Fang and the Barbaric Ball. Meet Amelia Fang, a sparkly little vampire in a dark and gloomy world. Amelia Fang is not looking forward to her parents' annual barbaric ball, but she never imagined that the spoiled prince of Nocturnia would use it as his chance to capture her pet pumpkin, Squashy. How freaking adorable. Amelia and her friends plan a daring rescue, but in Nocturnia, darkness reigns supreme, glitter is terrifying, and unicorns are stuff of nightmares. Will Amelia discover the things that are not always what they seem? Like, if that doesn't sound like some basic bitch shit, I don't know what else does. So I'm excited to read that. Her pet pumpkin Squashy. Yes. Okay, this one is actually really perfect for my current situation. It's called The City of Likes, and obviously it had a beautiful cover, which is what drew me in. But because we are going to be trying to get pregnant, and I'm extra and glamorous, and definitely trying to be a momfluencer eventually. The story centers on Megan Chernoff, a talented but unemployed copywriter in an identity crisis after the birth of her second child. Seeking a fresh start, she and her family move to New York City, where she meets Daphne Cole, a gorgeous, stylish, well-known momfluencer. To Meg's surprise and delight, Daphne shows an inordinate amount of interest in Meg, showering her with compliments, attention, gifts, and all of the perks that come with having a massive digital platform. Before she knows it, Meg finds herself immersed in Daphne's world, hobnobbing at exclusive Power Mom supper clubs, partaking in fancy wellness rituals, and reveling in the external validation she gets from her followers, who grow daily by the thousands. Her friendship with Daphne, as well as the world she's been granted access to, is intoxicating and all-consuming. But is it authentic? When Megan realizes she's losing track of what matters most, her relationship with her sons and her husband, the deep cracks in Daphne's carefully curated facade, are finally exposed. It's up to Meg to find her way back to her real life. But the first must determine what real even means. That sounds exactly what I need to read while I'm pregnant. This one I got the Nutcracker, again thinking as a future mother, this will be a great book to read at Christmas time. Okay, I'm also really excited about this one. The Ophelia Girls by Jane Healy. In the summer of 1973, Ruth and her 4 friends were obsessed with pre-Raphaelite paintings, and a little bit obsessed with each other. Drawn to the cold depths of the river by Ruth's house, the girls pretend to be drowning Ophelia and other tragic heroines in increasing elaborate tableaux. I don't know. But by the end of the summer, real tragedy has found them. 24 years later, Ruth is an unhappily married mother of young twins and 17-year-old Maeve, whose leukemia is recently in remission. At the start of summer, the family moves to Ruth's once grand home following the death of her father. Joining them in the country is Stuart, Ruth's childhood friend, who is quietly insinuating himself into their lives and gives young Maeve the attention she longs for. She's unsure of her place in the world now that she is cancer-free. Her parents just want her to be an ordinary teenage girl. But what teenage girl is ordinary? Exactly. Alternating between the two fateful summers, The Ophelia Girls is a suspense-filled exploration of mothers and daughters' illicit desires and the perils of power and being a young woman. Oh, I didn't think about it until just now, but sounds like another great book to read as a wannabe mother. Okay, we're going to talk about a few books that I have on Audible. I'm a huge Audible fan. I actually read, or I listen to more audiobooks than I do, than I like listen to music or something. I do podcasts too, but I listen to so much Audible. All right. Okay, so what drew me in was the cover. This is the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. Yeah. Okay, this one is a really great read for fall. I think I read it last fall. Who knows? It's not like your classic like Twilight love story or like there's another like Vampire Diaries. It's not like teenage hot romantic like that. It's literally like this Southern group of ladies with their book club and a vampire, or what they suspect to be a vampire, has come to town or come back to town, and all of these odd things are trying to add up, but all the men are like enthralled with this man, and they're like, you're just being stupid, blah blah blah, classic. No, that's not fair to say all men are like that, but it's like really fucked up and gory at some parts, like not gory, like just like not romantic. But it's a fabulous read. I probably really just explained that so badly. I'm really sorry. Let me read you the summary because I'm not doing it justice. Fried green tomatoes and steel magnolias meet Dracula in this southern-flavored supernatural thriller set in the 90s about a woman's book club that must protect its suburban community from a mysterious and handsome stranger who turns out to be a real monster. I'm not even done with this summary, but like literally my summaries suck in comparison. That's why this is not my job, summarizing books. Patricia Campbell's life has never felt smaller. Her ambitious husband is too busy to give her a goodbye kiss in the morning. Her kids have their own lives. Her senile mother-in-law needs constant care, and she always is a step behind on thank you notes and her endless list of chores. The one thing she has to look forward to is her book club, a close-knit group of Charleston women united by their love of true crime and paperback fiction. At these meetings, they are likely to talk about the Manson family, as they are marriage, motherhood, and neighborhood gossip. This predictable pattern is upended when Patricia meets James Harrison, a handsome stranger who moves into the neighborhood to take care of his elderly aunt and ends up joining the book club. James is a sensitive and well-read, and he makes Patricia feel things she hasn't felt in 20 years. But there's something off about him. He doesn't have a bank account, he doesn't like going out during the day, and Patricia's mother-in-law insists that she knew him when she was a girl, an impossibility. When local children go missing, Patricia and the book club members start to suspect James is more of a Bundy than a beatnik. But no one outside of the book club believes him. believes them. Have they read too many true crime books, or have they invited a real monster into their homes? It is a fabulous read. Okay, this is Dorothy Must Die. I think there's like maybe 2 or 3 books. I do this to myself all the time. I'll think I'm just getting a book whenever I don't feel like starting a series, but it wrapped it up nicely, but for the first book. But it's a twisted tale on Alice in Wonderland. I love Alice in Wonderland, but I love a twisted version too, which Alice in Wonderland is kind of already twisted, but anyways, I didn't ask for Dorothy. Did I just say Alice in Wonderland? What the fuck is wrong with me? Because I looked at the next book I was going to tell you guys about. Dorothy Must Die. So like, you know, The Wizard of Oz, Dorothy from Kansas. This is like a really dark, twisted version, retelling, but like that Dorothy's a bad guy now, not the good guy. Happy fall. I didn't ask for any of this. I didn't ask to be some kind of hero, but when your whole life gets swept up by a tornado taking you with it, you have no choice but to go along, you know? Sure, I've read the books, I've seen the movies, I know the song about the rainbow and the happy little bluebirds, but I never expected Oz to look like this. To be a place where good witches can't be trusted, wicked witches may just be the good ones, and winged monkeys can be executed for acts of rebellion. There's still a yellow brick road, but even that's crumbling. What happened? Dorothy. They say she found a way back to Oz. They say she seized power and the power went to her head and no one is safe. My name is Amy Gum and I'm the other girl from Kansas. I've been recruited by the Revolutionary Order of the Wicked. I've been trained to fight and I have a mission. So it's like all the bad guys from the original story teaming up to defeat Dorothy. We love a new perspective. Ooh, okay. This one is a really good fall read because it's like next level basic. So it's like for the basic bitch and like the pumpkin spice latte bitches and all this stuff. It's just like, it's the basic season. So why not read this one? Next Level Basic by Stassi Schroeder. Discover how to embrace your best basic self in this laugh out loud funny guide from the breakout star of Bravo's hit reality show, Vanderpump Rules. Perfect for fans of the relatable and entertaining books by the Betches and Andy Dorfman. I would just like to start this by saying I have not actually ever seen Vanderpump Rules, or I don't really watch The Housewives. I watch The Kardashians, and I really like the new, The Kardashians, not Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I really like the new one. Anyways, but I really like Stassi Schroeder, and I follow her on Instagram now, and I love her book, and I just got her second book, and I have not read it yet. Millions of Vanderpump Rules viewers and podcast listeners know Stassi Schroeder as a major defender of basic bitch rights. There's nothing more boring than people who take themselves too seriously or think you have to be pretentious to be cool. Stassi champions the things that many of us are afraid to love publicly and fear to be labeled as basic. Lattes, pugs, bubbly lattes, no, not bubbly lattes, bubbly cocktails, millennial pink, hashtag OOTD, astrology, hot dogs, the perfect pair of Louboutins, romantic comedies, the list goes on and on. This audiobook is for people tired of pretending they would rather see a Daniel Day-Lewis movie about sewing or read War and Peace than watch a Saw marathon or listen to, well, this audiobook. In Next Level Basic, the reality star podcast queen and ranch dressing expert gives you hilarious and pointed lessons on how to have fun and celebrate yourself with exclusive stories from her own life and on the set of Vanderpump Rules. From her public breakups to her most intimate details about her plastic surgery, Stassi shares her own personal experience with her trademark honesty, all with the hope you can learn something from them. That one is a fabulous book. Okay, well that's all that I'm going to go into right now. All right, these are all of the books and audiobooks and things that I highly suggest reading. And I'll let you guys know about these. Maybe I really want to start like a cute Instagram highlight with like book club or whatever. And I really should get on that. And then you guys can see all of them, and maybe I'll leave like my own little like reviews on them. I don't know. I might not be the best with like reviews or summaries, obviously. But yeah, there we are. Bye, dolls.